Hello all my makeup freaks and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Stephanie. So today is Tuesday and that means on my channel it is Tag Tuesday because I do a tag every single Tuesday. And today's tag is kind of cool because I made it up myself. Now I will say my friend Jessica from Beauty by Bassett told me that I should make up a tag like this, so I'm giving you credit, girl. But I did sit down this weekend and go try to figure out what questions I wanted, and this is the horror movie tag, so perfect for this month. I wanted to do it early in the month so anyone that wants to go ahead and do this tag can get on it. I will tag some people down below to do it, and I hope y'all do. If you like horror movies, just go ahead and do this tag. Consider yourself tagged. So it has 13 questions because 13 is my lucky number. Number 1, what is your favorite horror movie genre? I tend to like paranormal or supernatural movies. I'm not talking about like the Paranormal Activity movies, but things that are out of the ordinary, such as ghosts, poltergeist, vampires, that kind of thing, versus like the slasher or gory type things. Number 2, at what age did you start watching horror movies? Well, I will have to say I watched horror movies very, very early. My mom, even though she's kind of old-fashioned about some things, did not really care what I watched, I mean, within reason. And I was probably 4 or 5 the first time I saw a horror movie. I remember going to like the drive-in and seeing horror movies. My aunt was really into sci-fi, which kind of sci-fi and horror kind of go hand in hand a little bit. There's some like horror movies that kind of cross over to sci-fi and vice versa. So I watched a lot of sci-fi with her. Number 3, is there a movie that would give you nightmares? And I will have to say that the first time that I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the old original one, I had nightmares. It kind of freaked me out because the way the movie portrayed it is that it was a true story. I don't know like how much of it is a true story or if any at all was a true story, but yeah, that gave me nightmares. Number 4, what is your least favorite genre? I will have to say any kind of human on human killing, so like just serial killers. Now I will say I like some. I like the Hannibal Lecter kind of thing. I did like all of those, like Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs. I would say the one that really like sticks in my mind that I really didn't like would be Wolf Creek, and it's like this crazy guy that goes around and kills people in Australia. I didn't like that. I just don't like it. It's too real. It could actually happen, where like the supernatural stuff you don't really think would happen to you, is why I kind of think that I probably don't like it as much. Number 5, can you watch scary movies with the lights out? I prefer to watch scary movies with the lights out. I want to be as scared as possible. If I'm home alone, the lights are out, things get kind of crazy up in my house, and I'll be like, ooh, I'm scared. And I guess I enjoy that feeling. I don't know, because I watch horror movies as much as I can with the lights out. Number 6, what is the goriest movie you have ever seen? Oh my goodness. I've seen so many. I have no idea. I would say like the Hostel movies. Those are really, really gory, and I don't even know. I think I have seen all the Hostel movies, but the Hostel movies are very, very hard for me to watch simply for the fact that it is that human on human brutality. So that's kind of like outside of my comfort zone, and really it kind of makes my stomach hurt just like watching. I'm like, oh no. And those are pretty gory. Like you see like, you know, like eyeballs popping out and just, oh, people getting killed and tortured and just awful. Number 7, vampires, werewolves, or zombies? I'm going to have to go with vampires. I love vampires. That is just my monster of choice, I guess. Number 8, when watching a horror movie, do you ever cheer for the bad guy? And it says give examples. I do in certain situations. Now, there is a movie from Rob Zombie called The Devil's Rejects. It was a second to a first movie that I cannot remember. I know there's going to be people that can remember what that first movie was. I've seen both of them. The first movie, I was not rooting for the bad guys whatsoever. The second movie, for whatever reason, at some points I was rooting for the bad guys, and the way the bad guys died, I was not happy about it. I just thought it was like an awful way for them to die, and I kind of think that movie sets you up in a way to root for them. Yes, they're bad, but they're kind of cool at the same time. There was a lot of vampire movies that I feel like that. I don't generally like if the vampires in the end dies, like Lost Boys. I'm like, serious, you can live forever. Like, just have like a nice little vampire family. Now you're killing all the cute long-haired vampires. What are you doing? It made me mad. So a lot of vampire movies, I root for the vampires. Number 9, what is the worst movie you ever saw? And unfortunately, I'm not quite sure of the name. It was either Shedding Skin or Reflecting Skin. It was about a little boy who thought his next door neighbor was a vampire, who was a lady, and she actually wound up dating like the older brother of the little boy. It was crazy. Like, half of it made no sense. It just was crazy. I just did not enjoy it. I bought it. It was like in a bundle pack. Like you see when they come out like this time of year that has like 20 movies in it. And it came in one of those. I was kind of excited since it was a vampire movie, but it just sucked. Really, really bad. Number 10, name a movie that no one has ever saw, but they should. So of course I'm not saying that no one has ever saw this movie, but just not that it is out there and popular. And I have a couple. Number 1, Subspecies, which is also a vampire movie. It's a very kind of low budget indie vampire movie, but it did kind of get a cult following a little bit. There's 3 in the series, and the first one was my all-time favorite. The second one would be To Die For, and To Die For Part 2, which Part 2 is actually my favorite. It is not to be confused with the To Die For that has Nicole Kidman in it. This is also a vampire movie, or though they are also a vampire movie. Number 11, if horror movies were real life, would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse, kidnapped by aliens, or locked in a haunted house? And I would rather be locked in a haunted house. I don't want to be kidnapped by aliens. Like, I do not want to be anal probed. I'm sorry about it. No. And zombies, they don't have good skin. They have bad skin conditions. They're too bitey. Nah. So a haunted house, I actually think would be fun. I really want to go and like spend the night in the Amityville Horror House, or just like a scary. There's like some hotels that are haunted. I would love to go and like spend the night there. I just think it would be neat. I may be killed by ghosts or whatever, but it would be better than being killed by zombies. Number 12. What is your all-time favorite horror movie? This one is going... If you've seen the movie, you may hate it, because it's one of those, either you love it or you hate it, and it is Motel Hell, which is actually human on human, like, violence. So you would think I wouldn't like it, but it's also has like some comedy kind of things in it. But basically it is a guy that he makes like beef jerky or sausages. I think he does both. And of course he makes them out of humans. What else? But at one point he wears a pig costume and runs around with a chainsaw. Maybe it's an axe. I don't know. He runs around with something. It's just funny. Maybe he was dressed as a bunny. I want to say he was dressed as a bunny. I don't know. One or the other. He was a pig or a bunny. A large animal with a chainsaw or an axe. Hilarious. And my favorite movie. It's number 13. Name 5 horror movies that would be great to watch this Halloween. Okay, so my 5 are Honeymoon, which I've talked about it in one of my vlogs. It is really cool. These are all going to be in the past year or so. Honeymoon is actually pretty new. It is on demand right now. The Signal is new. That's my second one. I really liked it. It's kind of weird and it's kind of slow moving, but I enjoyed it. So I'm putting it on the list. It is also on demand. American Mary. Now, this one was probably close to a year or so old, but it is worth seeing. It's very kind of unique. It's almost like a girl power movie, but not in like a, I don't want to say it's not in a good way, but just like bad things start happening, but the character is really powerful and is really worth seeing. It's a good movie. Next one, I have a little trouble pronouncing this, but it is Byzantium. It is a vampire movie, but it's very kind of a unique one. And I believe that is on demand also. I would highly suggest watching that. And Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, which I think is the last one. I have seen all the Paranormal Activities. I feel this one is the best, like hands down. I guess they've kind of gotten a little bit more funding and it's not as low budget, but it's still really good. You really don't need to see the others to see this one. Yeah, I wouldn't even suggest seeing the others. If you haven't seen the others, just check this one out. There is a little bit of tie-in, but they almost got it wrong, but the movie was good, so it was okay, if that makes any sense. So I hope you enjoyed this tag. And like I said, once again, I'm going to put some people down below to do this tag. I hope y'all do it. If you like horror movies, go ahead and do it. And let me know that you have done it so I can check it out. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye!